Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit of a while, hadn't it? About 2 months, if I remember right. Um, Pull yourselves up a chair, get comfortable, get yourselves a nice cup of coffee or a cold beverage. It is summertime. Um, and if you guys could give me some 5x5s, that would be fantastic. Um, Morning, Share Bear, Savagely. How you guys doing? Appreciate you being here. If you are new to the channel, I am Shady. You are in the zone. We are coming to you live this Wednesday morning from the beautiful Rocky Mountain region right here in the Centennial State of Colorado. Oh man, I tell y'all what, it has been 2 months since I did a live stream, and there's a reason behind that, and I'm going to explain it just a little bit to y'all here in a minute. But if you notice, the title of this video is Shouting at the Sky. Hey Yankee, how you doing? Honey Bunny, how are you? Like I said, the title of this video is Shouting at the Sky, and there's a backstory to that. There's a reason for it. But before I do get started, just in case, there was a big fly down here last night while I was down here trying to get set up. So if you see me start madly swatting around, that's the reason. Anyway, getting back to the title of the video, Shouting at the Sky. Like I said, there's a backstory to this. You guys have probably seen the Shout at the Sky or Old Man Shouting at the Sky on some of the intros on some of my videos. Just to be real honest with y'all, I got caught. I got caught in a cycle that I actually did a video on, warning you guys not to get caught in this cycle. But I actually ended up my own self getting caught in this loop, this cycle, and it's hard to explain. But the way I do videos, and I have done a couple of videos since the last live stream, but the way I do videos is I see something and I say, you know what, that might be worth doing a video on. So I start researching it. I start looking at it. If it's breaking news or something like that, y'all know me. Most of the time I give it a couple of days. I let it stew. I let it marinate, for lack of better words. But I let it go for a couple of days, and I hear everybody's input on it, everybody's take on whatever's going on. And then I go in and I try to find a middle ground or find the truth to whatever's going on in that video. And I don't know, maybe it's a creator thing, maybe it's just me and my ADD. But it got to the point to where I would see something, I'd start doing a video on it, and then something else would happen. And I mean, I can remember the days when you'd get up in the morning, there would be like a breaking news story. And everybody would flock to that. Everybody would watch that. Everybody would kind of keep up with that. And that was the major thing in the news throughout the day. What it seems to me that has started happening is I'd start researching one video. I'd start getting things together, taking notes. I do, y'all, I do lots of notes when I do these videos. But I would start researching, I'd start making notes on it. And as soon as I would start getting into it, something else would happen. And I would look over there, and that would be going on. And I'd say, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, people might want to hear about that. So I'd start looking into that. And in the meantime, I might go back and glance at the original thing that I was going to do a video on. And then something else would pop up besides the other one. And this just, it just cycled. It was a continuous kind of thing. And it got to the point to where I'd go to bed at night and my brain would just be on overload from all this. And it literally got to the point, and I'll get further into this. It literally got to the point where I felt like I was that old man just shouting at the sky. So, um, what I started doing here a couple of weeks ago, anyway, was I started gradually pulling back from social media. Y'all, it's social media has been bad for a long time, but it just seems like here lately it's getting a lot worse than what it used to be. Um, I mean, places like X, Facebook, things like that have literally turned into cesspools. I mean, there are some of the most deviant people out there that I have ever encountered before in my life that will post. They have no morals, they have no boundaries, and they will post whatever they think that they can post just to make themselves look good or to make a statement or whatever. You can, and I got kind of guilty of it myself, but the thing about it is you can post something, a joke or satire about a politician or one of their heroes. And these people, like I said, they have no boundaries. They will come back after you. And they like to attack you personally. They will go into your profile, they will find pictures of you, they will find pictures of your family, and they will post those as a response to whatever you said. Now, this happened to me a couple of times. They they actually got a picture of Mrs. Shadey and posted that. Um, at one time, one of these people posted a picture of my daughter, my deceased daughter, all to try to get back at me because I'd said something about one of their politicians, one of their favored ones, one of their elite. So I started pulling back off social media just a little bit. And the mainstream news media as well. I kind of pulled back from that. I mean, we watch a lot of news around here. Um, it got to the point where I would walk through or I would be sitting there and I would totally be thinking about something else instead of focusing on what was going on the boob tube. And, even here, even on YouTube, I sort of pulled back from some of the creators that, some of the channels that I'd watched on a regular basis. Now, there are a few that I still watch. Abolitionist Rising is one of those. Um, the videos that have the sheriff with the white cowboy hat that does all the pullovers and stuff, I love those videos. I watch them all the time. But you know what I mean, guys. I mean, I got to the point where I was pulling away from this. And what I started doing, and this goes back to shouting at the sky, what I started doing was I started watching some of Prepper Nation's old videos. And I went back for a while because there was one video where John was talking, and I don't remember if he was talking to me or I had said something in chat that he was responding to, or if it was something he'd actually said. But John basically said that, well, if you do this, or I don't know, if you don't do that, I couldn't remember, you're basically just an old man shouting at the sky. So I started going back through some of John's old videos, and I was looking for that particular video, which, to be honest with you, I never found it. But while I was going back through some of Prepper Nation's old videos, I did see some things that, they spoke to me. They words of wisdom from John Davis, bless his heart. And Mrs. Nation, kids, just in case you guys are watching this, just so you know, this tie right over here that's hanging off of my mask there, that is a tribute to John and tie time. But anyway, as I was watching some of his videos, John said a couple of things, and they hit home with me. For one thing, I realized watching some of John's old videos, I realized that John didn't talk at people. John talked to people. And I think I had lost some of that somewhere along the way. Um, I had voices whispering in my ear, you know, this is how to make a better video. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do the other thing for your videos to be a success. And somewhere along the way, I kind of lost my path. I kind of started talking at the camera. I started talking at you guys instead of to you guys. So, uh, good morning, Jen. How are you? Um, so, I took that to heart when I heard him say that. And there was another thing that John was talking about in yet another video where he was talking about the algorithm. And it's like I said, I'd started listening to these little voices in my head. I'd started paying attention to things that I shouldn't have been paying attention to. Um, and like I said, John started talking about the algorithm. And I agree with everything that he said. There is no algorithm, not the way people look at an algorithm. You people, you guys, the ones over there in chat right now, the ones like Maria and a couple of other peoples, maybe Katrinka, that are going to come in here and they're going to watch the replay, or they might hit chat before it's over with. You guys are the algorithm. It's you. It's not anything it's not some kind of AI powered computer program that YouTube uses. It's you. It's your likes. It's your shares. It's your participation in these videos. That's what makes the channel, not a whole bunch of crap that that YouTube puts out there and feeds into your head about what you're doing. But it had gotten to the point to where I felt like, I mean, right now there's not a whole lot of people here in chat, and I'm kind of used to that. But it got to the point to where I literally felt like that old man shouting at the sky. I don't feel that way today. I don't, because I'm looking right at you guys and I'm talking right to you guys, letting you know what's been going on here in the zone. I Backwoods. Yankee Watchdog, Backwoods and I were talking about Prepper Nation the other day, hoping Ms. Nation is doing well. I also do. My prayers are still with that family, y'all. And I haven't seen Backwoods in a long time. I don't even know if he's doing videos anymore. But yeah, I sort of after I went back and after I pulled away from social media a little bit, and after I started listening to words of wisdom. Y'all have to remember something. I've been doing videos for quite some time. When I found John and when I found Prepper Nation, John literally inspired me to do better, to be to be a better creator, to connect better with people. And somewhere along the way, I lost that. This channel, I think we're a little bit over 1,000 subscribers here. Watch time's not that great to monetize. And I've said it before, I don't really expect this channel to ever monetize just because it's a real close knit little group of people that come in here and watch these videos. And I appreciate every single one of you. A lot of you are, for lack of better words, Beaverine refugees. And I am too, to be honest with you. We all are. We all miss John. We all miss Prepper Nation. But what I want to do now is, instead of trying to get fancier with the videos, instead of trying to, get out there and be a creator on YouTube, I'm just here to talk to y'all. And that's basically all I can do, because I reached a point to where I was burnt out. I was literally doing scripts for some of my videos. There was one of them. It was the same one I was talking about a while ago, where I warned y'all about getting caught in the cycle. It was called "Welcome to the Matrix," how social media or whatever manipulates you. I let it happen to me. Ain't that something else? The thing that I was warning you guys about, I let get to me. So here we are. And this is not going to be a very long live stream, y'all, because I didn't really prepare anything for it. I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys. I wanted to come on here and say good morning. I wanted to come on here and say I'm still here, and I'm kind of done doing these pre-packaged videos that I've been doing. Um, it just seems like that's not the way to go, despite what everybody, all these little voices whispering in your ear. That's not the way to go. You've got to go with your heart when you do these things. And that's something that I was talking about Backwoods a while ago. Excuse me. That's something that Backwoods told me a long time ago, and that was to be yourself when you did these videos. So, I've got a little bit of B-roll. I got a little bit of hot sauce to talk about here in the live stream, but not that much, because that was the message I wanted to get across to y'all. And I looked, and I was looking at the past videos, and it had been 2 months since I'd done a live stream. And hang on one second. Share Bear says, I think going with your heart and just talking is probably the best. I 100% agree, Share Bear, and it's taken me a while to actually get back to that. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get back to that, to just going with my heart and talking to people. One of the things that one of these websites, programs, whatever, that they will go in, they will analyze your channel, they will tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, blah 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 blah. Well, this thing told me, well, you've got a good channel, you've got a good base of subscribers, your thumbnails are okay, the whole YouTube kind of thing. And then it says, however, one video you'll talk about current events, one video you'll talk about prepping, one video you'll do a review on a gun, one video you'll do a review on a knife, one video you'll do a faith-based video, which honestly, most of the videos that I do on here, they might have something to do with Christianity, but they're not really faith-based videos. I've got another channel where I do that. But it says, your audience, your audience, you guys aren't my audience, you're my family, but your audience doesn't know what to expect from you because you're not consistent and all that stuff. And y'all, I was listening. I was literally listening to this. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to either get rid of some of the garbage, or I'm going to try to blend some of the garbage and, kind of narrow it down so people know what to expect on here. Politics, that's kind of like social media these days, y'all. It's a cesspool. That's all it is. It's a cesspool. And I mean, I can do political videos all day long, and if I see something, I'm going to say something about somebody. If I see something that stinks, if it doesn't look right, I'm going to do a video on it. And it may just be Colorado. It may just be here in the Centennial State that I do something on, or it may be what I'm planning on doing here in just a minute. We're gonna talk about somebody here in just a second, but I'm trying to pull myself back, get back to the old way of doing things. I even went a little retro this morning. I had the shades and everything ready to go because I may even bring back the avatars, the avatar shades. Now that Sleepy Joe's not a thing anymore, maybe we can make aviators great again. So I'm going to try to get back to some of the old ways. I'm gonna sit back, take a little time, look at some things, talk to you guys about things instead of just rambling on and talking at you, reading from a script and trying to make everything fancy and things like that. But anyway, I wanted to get all that off my chest. There are a grand total of, well, it switched up a little bit, but I appreciate y'all being in the chat. So, just to put a little bit of hot sauce on what I'm talking about, the last video that I did, the last live stream that I did, was on the Iran war. That was 2 months ago. Guess what? We're still in a war with Iran, and I don't care what this memorandum of understanding or whatever it is that they've got going on out here right now. That doesn't mean anything, y'all. A memo of understanding just means that, hey, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna talk about this and that and the other. Of course, you've got the right-wing news media that is saying that Trump is doing just a fantastic job. He's devastating Iran. They have no chance, and they're going to come to the table. They're going to make a peace treaty, and they're going to make a peace treaty, and they're just going to end this. The Iran war has me exhausted. It does me too, Share Bear. I am way tired of this. But the thing about it is, y'all, and something that everybody has to realize, this thing isn't over. This memorandum of understanding, these peace talks, my personal opinion, they don't really mean a whole lot, because Iran, the type of people that the Iranians are, and yeah, I'm talking about the real Muslims, not the watered down, peace loving, beatnik Muslims that every college kid in America wants you to believe that Islam really is. No, these people are hardcore Islam. And hardcore Islam is you either accept our religion or you die. These people have no problem. Hey, Handy Prepper, good morning. These people have no problem dying for what they believe in. I think they're completely wrong. I think they're completely off base. I don't subscribe to Islam, but I will give them perks that they have that much dedication in their religion that they will die for what they believe in. And I believe the leaders in Iran, I believe they believe the same thing. It is better to die than to lose. So don't think for a second, because we're talking, because we have a memorandum of understanding, that anything in Iran is going to change on any kind of major basis. I don't believe it for a second. Now, like I said, this is my personal opinion. You can take it, you can leave it, whatever you want to do. These people will not quit. They're like the Terminator robot. They will not stop until they do what they intend to do. I mean, look at 9/11. These people in these planes were willing to kill themselves in a fiery crash flying into buildings. They don't care, folks. Life means nothing to them because they are looking at the afterlife and they're 70 virgins or whatever. And let's not forget something. For 4 years, and I know you've heard this before, I'm going to repeat it. For 4 years, our southern border was wide open. If you do not believe that we have Iranian sleeper cells in this country, Chinese sleeper cells in this country, Russian sleeper cells in this country, if you don't believe that's going on, then you need to get yourselves another cup of coffee, drink it down, and wake up, because they're here. And all it takes is for real a green light for them to go off. So, no, I don't think that this is over with. And I think as long as the leaders in Iran know that they have these assets right here in the country available to them, that they can flip a switch or make a phone call and activate these guys, they're not going to give up. And they're not going to give up anyway. The only way that Iran will ever give up is the alternative that nobody wants to see happen. as far as the peace talks, as far as this memorandum of understanding, either Iran will violate it or Israel will do something that ticks Iran off and give them an excuse to go back and keep going. So what else? What else can we talk about today? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we want to go here or not. Yeah, let's do it. Folks, y'all all know who this is. This is Senator, Representative, whichever one she is, Jasmine Crockett, Jazzy Crockett of Texas. Now, this lady, and I'm not going to keep her picture up there for very long because I know how most people feel about her. This lady has a habit of every time she opens her mouth, nothing but a whole bunch of retard comes out of her mouth. She is a little rich kid. She's a lot like AOC. She's a little rich kid that wants you to believe that she's a hood rat. She wants you to believe that she grew up in the streets and this and that and other, and that's how come she talks the way she did. Well, last week, I believe it was, we had the stabbing in Texas. Carmelo Anthony, 19 years old, was at a sporting event up in the wrong tent. You know the story. Guy pushed him. He pulled out a knife out of his backpack and stabbed him. And I've got the film somewhere. Jazzy and a bunch of her buddies were doing like a Zoom call or something like that, and clearly Crockett had not paid one bit of attention to anything that was going on with this story. She was asking some of the most ridiculous questions that I ever heard of before in my life. She was talking about the size of the knife. That it was just a little bitty teeny knife. Was it one of them? Was it one of them knives, like a Swiss Army knife that had like the scissors and stuff with it? Just stupidity oozing from her at an alarming rate of speed. And at one point in what she was saying, she says, if a 300-pound man was on top of me, beating me up, I'd probably stab him too, or something along those lines. In other words, if she's attacked by a 300-pound man who is stronger than she is, bigger than she is, she would have no problem killing him, stabbing him. But before all that, it was perfectly fine for some trans boxer in the Olympics to punch his opponent, a female, a biological female, to punch her in the face so hard that she just quit the match right then. There was nothing wrong with a trans volleyball player spiking the ball over the net and hitting a biological female in the face so hard to where it broke her orbital bone and caused her minor brain damage. No. Jazzy didn't have a problem with that. That was all about trans rights. But if a 300-pound man gets on top of her and starts hurting her, she gonna kill him. See, folks, I hate hypocrisy. I hate hypocrites. I may be a dumb redneck from Mississippi that grew up down south, but at least I've got a little bit of common sense, and at least when I say something, I stick with it instead of going on through all that. But anyway, those are the major things that are going on in the news right now. Jazzy's not major. She was just something I wanted to throw in there because like I said, I can't stand hypocrites and I can't stand hypocrisy. We've been running here for about 30 minutes. And like I said, y'all, I had to get what I had to say about shouting at the sky off my chest. Just rambling on, you know. And that was the major reason that I came on. And I know I say this a lot, but I am legitimately going to try to start getting on here just a little bit more often. Now, look, y'all, um, I don't know how many of you out there that were beaverines, but listen here. If you know some of these beaverines that are still out there somewhere that are basically homeless since Prepper Nation quit, I'm not saying that I'm John Davis and I'm not saying that this is Prepper Nation, but you know what? Right over there in the chat box, that's what's important. Let these people know that there is still a place for them to come to, and there's still a place for them to get together, for you guys to get together, to chat, to catch up with each other. Somebody had mentioned something about Backwoods a while ago. Like I said, I haven't heard anything from Backwoods in a while, but then again, I've been pulling back from social media too. But, you don't have to come on here to listen to me. You can come on here to talk to each other. I don't care. I just want to get the family, keep the family together. All these displaced beaverines that are out there, let them know that there's some place here on YouTube where they can still come. I'm not doing Ty Time. I'm not John Davis, but I am here. And you, beaverines, you have an open invitation to come in here, to talk to each other, to listen to me just kind of rant and drone and whatever away for 30 minutes or so. I'm going to try to start doing this a little bit more often. It's summertime, and that makes it a little bit difficult as far as time goes, because with my work, I work more during the spring and summer than I do during the wintertime. And I let a whole season of wintertime pass by, and I didn't really do a whole lot on here. I'm going to try to do something to change that. Look, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. Um, it has been a minute. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Like I said, y'all, I do like John did. I do notes. I'm going to get away from the script thing and just go with notes. So if you see me looking down or looking around, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking to see, make sure that I didn't miss anything, so you didn't miss anything. I want you guys to take care of each other. Have a great day. Get out and enjoy some of this summer weather. I've been doing a lot of gardening. Hadn't got to go fishing a whole lot. Um, hadn't got to go fishing a whole lot so far this spring. I hope to remedy that situation, but I also want to start doing some more live streams. I want to keep this rolling, get it started back up, get it going a little bit fresher, if you know what I mean. Keep this rolling. But you guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget, y'all, when I say take care of yourselves, I don't mean just take care of yourself personally. Look out. Look out for your neighbor. Look out for your family. Take care of yourselves. God bless every single one of you. All right. Have a great day. And hey, thanks for stopping in and putting up with me for 30 minutes or so. Y'all stay shady, all right?